Things might get weird.
Yeah.
Welcome to our life.
Are we back?
I think we're back.
Go ahead and get a good zoom on those hats right there.
We did a thing this week.
We'll explain the hats, okay? We'll explain the hat. I'm a little hot here.
There
we go.
Don't worry. It's a joke.
Don't worry, guys. We're voting for Trump, but this is a joke.
But it is all a part of the plot.
The hats were a joke. I actually didn't get too many
hates.
I mostly got hearts.
Did you?
Yeah, mostly got hearts on my post. If you haven't seen it, we did a post. I posted our picture of us wearing our Make America Great Again hats.
MAGA.
That were gifted to us in Lake Powell. And somehow we ended up with way more hats.
Literally all of them.
We actually do.
I don't know.
We have at least half of them.
Yeah.
So
they just got put in the bin that.
If you need a good hat, hit us up.
One lucky winner.
One lucky.
Tag our podcast, and we'll put you in a drawing. We'll send you one of these MAGA hats.
Yeah, we're not going to promise they're clean or anything, but you get one, all right?
Babe, what did we do this week?
Holy cow.
Just this week. Let's start with us this week, and we can recap
this week,
everything else later.
We went to Lake Powell, and we went just for a family trip. It was you have glitter on your forehead. You are just so sparkly today.
Shine bright like a diamond.
You are. You look so good.
Thank you. You just told me before. Oh, you're ready?
My shirt. Can you see it? We made these.
We made those.
With the Silhouette cameo machine and heat presses.
Shout out Silhouette.
And heat
sponsor us.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, gang.
If you didn't catch it.
It says Lake Powell Crew with a sun on it.
Hayden now works at Silhouette.
Yeah. I work at Silhouette again. Still doing some real estate deals. Doing what we have to, doing what we need to. We're in a recession, babe. But we went to Lake Powell this week, and
it's our Christmas trip. You said that?
Yeah, I don't know. I think I was getting there. Good job. You had glitter on your head, and I was like, ah.
Like, squirrel.
But, we went to Lake Powell, and we made these T-shirts for everybody. By the way, just a quick note on that. The best T-shirt, they have different types of fabrics you can buy, but the best brand for the best price, I think I'm going to go buy a bunch of these T-shirts.
Yeah.
And just because I have the built shirts.
They're so comfortable.
So comfortable. They fit nicely.
And they're like $4.
The brand is next level.
And what's the website?
I think you can buy them online without a wholesale account for a really good deal.
Oh, okay.
But Johnny has a wholesale account, and I ordered, they were like $6 a T-shirt, and I have some that I have worn for several years now.
Well, because it's the same ones that they use for their Red Sign T-shirts.
Yeah.
And so we asked him, his real estate team.
Yeah.
And so we asked which ones they were, and so we sent you the link because
he gave me his login. I ordered a bunch. I told him I'm going to order more. Yeah. So they're awesome. Next level is the brand. Anyway, when we were handing out the T-shirts, Johnny said, I have a gift for everybody. And we went with the Christiansens. Johnny and his son came. And there were supposed to be more of us, but, some of this isn't our business to talk about. But we went with the Christiansens. So Johnny, his brother Jace came down and saved the day. We'll explain that later. I'm getting ahead. And the Winders, who did a episode with us, if you go back early on in the early days.
We should have them back on.
We should.
Especially for now.
That actually would be pretty cool.
Let's do it.
But we did an episode where they came on. It was when a Democrat marries a Republican or something, how it can all work. So we're, we want what's best for the country and for our citizens and our families, just like everybody else. I think most people want the same thing, to be really honest. But Clay's opened up my eyes to a lot of things, and I think I've slowly turned him, maybe not.
Wow.
But what was funny is Johnny's like, hey, I have a gift for everybody too. And he pulled out all these Make America Great Again hats. And he had one Kamala. Is it Kamala or Kamala?
Kamala.
Right.
That's
tomato. There's no accent above the first A.
That's how I've heard it majority. Yeah. I think Kamala.
Frankly, I don't, no disrespect for her. It's Kamala for now. And he had a Kamala Waltz hat for Clay.
And it was a
blue one.
Woman's hat.
the woman's hat. It was pretty funny. So Johnny's always really good about, if anybody ever saw the picture that I had, he gave me a poster one time that I hung up in my office. It had Donald Trump, Joe Rogan.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Elon
All
Musk.
of your
and then those two, Andrew Tate was on there, and they're all sitting at a table like they're having a discussion, smoking cigars, and I think having a drink or something. It was pretty funny. Oh, Jordan Peterson was on there.
Yeah.
So he got it for me for Christmas one year, and I hung it up. It was pretty funny.
That's awesome.
But anyway, yeah, we had some political discussions. Dude, one of the craziest things I will say, you guys were doing your dance party. That thing went for 30 minutes.
Our
and
dance
the
party?
boat, yes, the boat was like the houseboat. We could hear it like squeaking on the outside. It was like
me and Steph and all the kids.
I was shocked how long that dance party went for.
We just were doing, so we got the glow sticks, and we got these like foam glow sticks that you turn them on and they'll flash different colors, whatever.
We'll post a video.
Yeah, and anyway, it was nighttime, so we turned out all the lights, and then we just hooked up to your speaker and
had 1,000 glow sticks, and that's not.
And the kids just kept requesting different songs, and we just kept going. After because
it was easily 30 minutes,
knew.
maybe 45. You guys went hard. I walked into this.
Did they sleep good that night?
Yeah,
they did.
Yes, they
did.
They
slept really good that night.
I was shook, but
literally because we shook the boat.
Yeah.
Dad jokes.
Which led to awkward conversations outside, but we'll talk about that later.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I want to tell that story. It would be so good for this. Love you, Jack. We'll see it for another day. That's a good one, though. So we had a houseboat, and then we got a pontoon boat. We really honestly, there's a few things we'll probably do a little differently. Maybe we will add in jet skis the next time. And maybe a ski boat so we can surf and kneeboard a little easier. We pulled a tube.
We did the pontoon boat dope because it's the boat that would fit our whole party.
Yeah, and we were able to go. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So you guys were having your dance party. We were outside looking at the stars. You can see every star in the sky almost down there.
So pretty.
Freaking amazing. Saw shooting stars. We're just staring at the sky, and I'm like, I've only seen the Starlink satellites one time. Which, shout out to Clay who brought his Starlink satellite.
Oh, yeah, that was sweet.
It freaking worked awesomely.
Yeah.
And, excuse me. And we were talking about the Starlink satellites. I'm like, guys, we're going to see them. They're going to be coming here. I saw them last year bear hunting in the mountains of Idaho. And I go, we're going to see them, guys. And not 15 seconds went by. I was staring up at the sky, and all of a sudden I saw this row of satellites pop into view, and I'm like, there they are. They're right there, you guys. And we were like, cool. What the crap? This is proof.
Willed it into existence.
Yeah, we live in a simulation. Someone was messing with us. They just popped right in for about 30 seconds, and then they disappeared.
That's funny.
It was super funny.
I'm glad you were looking right in the right spot, too, though.
Literally right. They came right at us over the top of our heads and then disappeared. Crazy. It was... I welcomed him in. I told him that they could come.
I said that.
Yeah. So that was the second time only I've ever seen him.
That's cool. But the skies were so beautiful. You could see like a little Milky Way. You could see all sorts of stars. Thousands.
Johnny gave me an astrology lesson outside. We were talking about the Big Dipper and the handle.
Oh, yeah. And we had the app that you could look up and see where certain things were. It was like you could see, I think, Saturn.
Saturn, I think.
And I don't remember. Anyway, there were a couple of them that we could see when we were out there. It was so pretty.
We saw.
But let's stay on track. Let's backtrack here. Okay.
Go for it.
So we decided to do this trip. None of us had gone to Lake Powell since we were in high school, but we just thought it would be a good idea.
Yeah.
To just wing it.
Bruh.
We're going to go and we're going to figure it out. We rented a houseboat, which I was really nervous because none of us have A, driven a houseboat, B, parked a houseboat, and anchored a houseboat.
Yeah.
Which, rumor has it, is not that easy. And so I was a little nervous about that. But at the 9th hour, what is that? Who's out there?
Madeline.
Who's got their music going?
She's probably packing up those clothes like I asked her, but no.
Probably. Anyway, I don't know if you can hear that or not. Sorry about that.
Probably.
Anyway, 9th hour, in comes Johnny's brother, Jace. And he...
I'm going to text her. Have me your phone, I'll text her.
Is like a Lake Powell master.
He's been to Bullfrog a few times.
He came in, and it just made us all, like, feel a little more confident in what was going on. So, yeah, we went to Bullfrog. And he came in, they went and got our pontoon boat and kind of scouted out areas and left Jack and Johnny's boy that was there on a spot. And the spot was perfect. Perfect.
Every time I've gone on a houseboat, it's 2 or 3 times now, it's been like a 4-hour boat ride to get to our spot.
Oh, yeah.
And... Jace went out. We were able to get the pontoon boat right away. We ended up waiting like 2 or 3 hours for that.
It was crazy.
They were way late getting us our houseboat. And I heard that's pretty par for the course down at Bullfrog. We could have drove down that morning. Yeah, I heard some people talking. But we really could have driven down that morning and just gotten there. I think it was probably good for us to get there the night before. It was kind of nice.
I don't like to drive in the dark.
Yeah.
Really?
Spanish Fork Canyon gets pretty nasty.
So... Anyway.
Where it can, yeah.
And we had to drive 2 cars because we have that many people.
Yeah. And so Jace hopped on the pontoon boat and went and scouted for a few spots. And one of the benefits of that, you get your boat, and he took Jack and crew, and they went out and reserved us a spot, which was awesome. But the first few spots that he went to were all taken up. But I realized that one of the cons of going out early is some people are still packing up their stuff, and they might be leaving. And you're there too early.
Yeah.
But he did end up finding the perfect spot.
It wasn't far from the marina.
Even in the houseboat, it took us 20 minutes to get to the marina, or from the marina to that
Johnny
spot.
really gave that houseboat it all.
Yeah.
He put it all the way down, and we were cruising. I'm like, I don't think I've ever seen a houseboat go this fast.
I never have. Jason and I were both on.
Jason was dying. Yeah, he's all freaking ripping out of the buoyed area.
Yeah, he's supposed to go slow there. Just note to self.
He's all, oops.
Yeah. But we
you live and you learn.
Yeah, he did awesome on the houseboat.
Oh, yeah, he killed it.
And it was 15 minutes there were 2 marinas actually close to us, so we were able to go in and get ice and treats and everything for the kids. Not that we didn't have enough of those.
Oh, my gosh.
We have a giant cooler full of soda and a giant tub full of chips. So if you need some chips.
Did have another cooler full of water that we handed off to the group that was just getting there as we were leaving.
Yeah. Jess overplanned, which was perfect. It's way better to have way too much than too little. You run out of water out in the desert lake?
So here was the deal. I actually didn't overplan.
Right.
It was the last minute grabbing of all the other little things that was overplanned. So there were maybe a couple things so I just took charge of food because it was just easier that way, I think.
You did an awesome
everybody.
Job.
And so I meal planned for every meal, but then I said, okay, everybody can be in charge of your own snacks. You can choose what snacks you want. And you all went hard on the snack game, which was great.
Yeah.
But also we came home with so much food.
I said 5 or 10 pounds.
I said we should do how many? I think I said 5 things of water, and you guys did like 8. And so we probably had at least that many extra there. 3 extra
2
things
or 3,
of water
probably
to fill that whole cooler. Probably at least 3.
Yeah.
And then anyway, there were just little things like that. I was like, okay, the eggs we definitely overplanned, but here's the thing with food and being out in the heat, you just don't eat as much, and you do want to snack a little bit more, like at night or whatever when you're hanging out and it's dark. You're gonna want to snack more. So where I had a meal, like a full meal for each one, you didn't do as many like in between snacks. So we overdid the chips because we weren't doing in between snacking.
Yeah.
And so anyway, there were just little things like that I was like, oh, okay. Plus we had littles that didn't eat a full serving worth of whatever.
Yeah.
So it was good.
It had a DVD player. It kept the kids occupied when we needed to do certain things like pick up the boat or.
Yeah, that was nice.
I would have taken an extension cord for the Apple TV since Starlink was actually humming. But when you're in Powell, dude, you go out and look at the stars.
See, that was
and
the
you
thing.
put your phone away.
Anytime,
and I did. We did. I actually did a pretty good job.
Anytime that the kids, like, they would wake up and then start watching TV, I'm like, I kept telling him, I'm like, okay, TV's off until dark. Like,
we didn't even get
go do something.
We didn't even get just like a family picture of us.
We
have the group photo and we have pictures of everybody, but we don't have like just us sitting there.
Well, I thought there was one day we were going out and we were all wearing our shirts and we all had matchy swimsuits too. So I thought for sure, we'll get a picture while we're out. We didn't.
That's kind of on you, I feel like.
It is. It's all my fault. I didn't do enough.
But, Jace decided to come down last minute. He had to leave early because he had to fly to South Carolina in a hurricane.
Oh, my gosh.
Which was not planned.
I'm so glad
he had to
Which brings me, actually,
someone home.
We missed our good news. The good news.
Oh, yeah.
So there was a hurricane. Not good news. And we did have some friends that were affected, which I'm like, what do we do? How do we help? But I don't know what we can do. Anyway,
you asked.
I did ask, and I'm like, can I send Amazon to you? Can I, anyway, I don't know. Because all the grocery stores are out. They're not going to be with power for like 2 weeks. Luckily, they're getting a generator out there. But anyway, the good news on that good news movement page, it had a video of this reporter that was in the middle, reporting the middle of the storm and everything going on. And he stops while they're recording. He's like, I'm sorry, you need to hold on a minute. I need to go see if I can help over here. There was this lady stuck in her car. The car was like filling up with water. And he goes and helps her break out of the car and is like, he's carrying her out.
What a sweetie.
Are you kidding me right now?
Reporting the news as a hero.
Isn't that so sweet?
That is sweet.
Bob Van Dillen in Atlanta. That was, anyway, I was like, people are good.
Good people.
People are good. So good of him to be aware,
Yeah.
Sweet.
He just films her, just get carried away in her car.
He's like, this is
Maybe
sad.
do you think he would have saved her if the camera wasn't rolling?
Yes.
I do too. I do too.
Faith in everybody.
Me too.
Anyway, that was sweet. That's cute.
So while we were gone, so we had this cool family that rented our basement from us for a while. Yeah. And they decided, anyway, it's been several years since they lived here, but their family decided to move out to Georgia, and they're renting out their house here now. And the husband was the last one to leave, and he's like, "Hey, I have 1 more week of work here before I drive out to Georgia. Do you guys have an extra room?" And we're like, "Yeah, actually, we're gonna be in Powell. Can you feed the fish and like you can come stay?" That's great. So it actually worked out perfectly for us.
Yeah.
And then we got home, and he was showing us all the videos of the hurricane that his family's
sad.
in, that he's driving to. And luckily, they're all sold out of generators out there in Georgia, of course.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So he ran to Costco and bought one here, and then threw it in his car and is driving it out to his family.
Yeah.
So thanks for feeding the fish, and let us know if you need anything, dude.
I know.
But we've been in touch with them. But yeah, where were we?
But speaking of weather,
speaking of the weather,
really nice.
I mean, for us, it was good. No offense, but the weather down there was about as perfect as it gets.
Honestly, this time of year is the perfect time to go, in my opinion. It was not too crazy busy. The weather was perfect.
Yeah.
And the water temperature was even nice. Like, it's a lake water, so it's going to be cold, but I didn't jump in and froze.
Yeah. Water was perfect. The weather was perfect.
Yeah.
If anything, it got a little warm on the houseboat still, but we had AC on it most of the time.
I wasn't really that uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Majority of the time.
Yeah. Other than I just needed it's rare that a shower feels that good when you get home.
Oh my gosh, it felt
You know what I mean?
good.
We bathed in lake water for 5 days or whatever it was for a few days.
Yeah, but it was great. So some of the things that were like our top things, we were asking the kids what their favorite thing was. Some of the favorite things that we did, Jack loved the cliff jumping.
Yep.
Which was kind of surprising, but
Yeah.
He did it, and he loved it. We did a couple places. We went to what was called Christie's Crack.
Yep. Or Pete's Crack.
Or Pete's Crack.
We were down at Bullfrog.
It's not on any of the maps. So
Jace
was saying that he calls it Christie's Crack, I do believe.
Yeah.
And then we were asking another boat that was there before we got there, and they said that they call it Pete's Crack. Yeah. So somebody's crack. We went, and it was like a slot. You climbed up. It's pretty sketchy, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
We had to climb. Somebody luckily had put a rope into the water so that you could climb up a little bit using the rope. And the guy on the other boat tells Hayden and Clay, they're like, oh, yeah, your 5-year-olds could totally make it up there. You're good. So they put them on their back to climb up this slick rock with the rope. We get up there and we start climbing up the rock. And I kid you not, it's a cliff and it falls right into the water, right?
It's pretty rad.
It's cool. But you have to climb it up, and you're
without the rope there to help you get up. Well, the first
climbing.
part, you wouldn't have been able to get up at all without that rope.
No, you wouldn't.
And then the other section, it was really helpful to have the rope.
Yeah, so then we start climbing up, and Gwenny starts freaking out. And I'm like, how? What?
Once we got like 40 feet above the water, and we were like on a 2-foot wide
it was
rock, Gwen was like...
with a cliff down to the water again, she was like...
Yeah, I think she heard one of the kids make a comment, and then she immediately froze, and she's like, I don't want to go. I said, okay. And there was like a little dip where there was a rock that got them off the cliffside.
Yeah.
And we just said, okay, sit here with Taft and a couple of the older kids.
And they still could see him from the boat, too, so that they could talk to like the adults that were on the boat. So they could still communicate and make sure that they were safe sitting there waiting for us. Because it wasn't that far up, but it was steep. And
it was probably 100 yards total.
I still have like skins on my knees and my fingers still numb.
Is it really still numb?
Yeah.
From the rope?
Yeah, it's getting better. Oh, I get a little bit more feeling each day.
so happy for you.
But it was like pretty intense. The little kids couldn't have done it. I mean, it wasn't crazy.
Taft could have probably climbed up.
Taft could have done it. It wasn't crazy, but it was not super easy. I don't know, not a walk in the park. But we got up there, and it's this cool slit canyon. It's like sand.
Slot Canyon.
Or Slot Canyon.
It's like where the part of the cliff had broken away separated from the one cliff to the other, and it made this gap of like 60-foot high. Oh,
so high. I don't know.
We have some pictures of it in video that Clay took. We'll post, but
that was really it's a cool.
You had to walk in a single file line, and then it was all sand everywhere you walked, and there was all sand. Like it separated from itself, and then you could just walk down this cool little slot canyon, and it was really, really cool. I really liked the amphitheater that Jace took us to.
Yeah.
Super cool overhang where you could swim in,
and it was cool because the reflection off the water would go onto the rock, and it just looked like this little ripple going on the top of the rock. I have to send that one too because that was really cool looking.
And Jay said, so we had that amphitheater all to ourselves.
Yeah, he's like, I've seen 20 boats in here at one time.
Yeah, it was awesome. Like the traffic was low, the temperatures were great. It really was. We
may have like gone to a beach that we thought he was like, if in a perfect world, I would have loved to have this spot for our houseboat. And we sit there, and all of a sudden, these like dead fish start floating, and we're all, oh, that's weird. I'm like, should we maybe not swim here? And they're like, it's fine. Well, we sit there for long enough, and all of a sudden, this green, like neon green, is surrounding on the beach, and they're like, that would be green algae. And I'm like, everybody out of the water, let's go. Yeah. Luckily, nobody got sick, and I'm glad we didn't go there to beach our houseboat with all the green algae.
Our spot was perfect. It was so good that as we were packing up to leave, the houseboat across from us asked us if they could take our spot, and we're like, for sure. And they helped us because we were having a hard time getting the houseboat started, and the guy came over and looked at it, and we got it rolling again. But
yeah,
it actually worked out great. And it turns out in Bullfrog there are frogs.
There are frogs, guys.
And we were doing a fire on like the last night we were there. And we're all kind of just standing around or sitting around the fire doing s'mores and stuff. And this frog hops up there, and all of a sudden the frog just goes straight for the fire.
No, it's sitting there, and Johnny saw it, and so he kind of like, it scared him.
Yeah.
So he like lifted his feet and kind of jolted, and it scared the frog Frog jumps into fire to get away from scary giant.
Yeah, and we're like, what the heck? And we're like all sat there in shock, staring at this frog in the fire.
And so it jumps back out.
Yeah.
And then proceeds to jump back in on the other side of the fire. Hayden's cousin Tess came with us. She's the cutest, the best. It was so fun.
Awesome. Yeah.
Anyway, so it gets back into the fire, and Tess like goes to grab it, puts her hand in fire, and tries to scoop it out, and it moves around. She can't get it out. I can't remember. Did Clay get it out?
She moved it, and then it jumped back in further to the fire, and then Clay jumped in. I think it was Clay. Pull it out.
And pulled it out. He gets it out, and then I'm like, take it down to the, because it was just kind of like had its front legs tucked in. I'm like, take it down to the water, cool it off. Anyway, it was sad. He didn't make it. I don't think he made it.
Frog soup with it.
Ugh.
Nothing goes to waste.
We had plenty of food that went to waste.
Yeah. Well, we took a lot of it home. That was good.
Yeah, we tried to. It was so funny because some of the group doesn't do leftovers.
Johnny doesn't do leftovers.
So we had all this extra food, and I'm like, okay, look, let's not cook this last meal. Like, we don't even need to cook the last meal or whatever. And we're just throwing food away. And me and Maddie kept being like, I feel so wasteful. What is happening? Like, we're just throwing all this food away.
Give some away.
But anyway.
We brought a lot home.
We did.
Kids will have chips for a while for school.
And soda.
Yeah.
So, if anybody needs any, come knocking on our door. But it was so fun. It was perfect because there was enough downtime. There was enough play. We did get like the tube for a day.
Yeah.
And so we pulled it, but the pontoon boat doesn't go fast enough to like tip anybody.
Yeah. We were able to tip a couple of the kids. Well, and it did go for as many people as we had on that boat.
There were a lot
it actually did do pretty well.
I think if we did it again, I was telling Johnny, he's like, what would we do different? I said, honestly, because the little kids don't want to be on the boat the whole time anyway. Yeah. But some of the older kids would want to do a couple more things on the boat. So I'm like, getting a speedboat would probably be fine.
Ski boat.
And you can just do... Just not take everybody. It's okay to not take everybody.
Yeah. You could go out, the pontoon boat could follow out, and people could just swap, or a few people go out at a time.
No, I don't think you need both. I think you just could use the one. Or maybe even just that, if you're going to do two things, that and jet skis, because then jet skis could come and take whatever. But
just worry about kids crashing on each other. And one time we went to Powell, and Austin's like, hey, help me beach this thing. And so I pushed I was helping him get it in the water. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was on the front of the jet ski pushing towards him, and the engine like cut the top of his foot pretty deep. And he got staph infection like 2 weeks later, and they had to like carry him into the ER and everything. So it's just there, but that was the only bad thing that I've ever had happen on jet skis. But I'm just like,
he got cut.
We were a little wild on him, but I'm like, okay, the kids would probably be fine. It would probably work out fine, but you're just like in the freaking middle of nowhere with all these little kids that want to jump on the jet ski and will probably be asking about it all day long. And it's like,
my thing is more, I don't
know if anybody has advice on when to do jet skis and when not to, let us know.
I think during peak season, I probably wouldn't.
Yeah.
At the time that we were there, where there wasn't as many people, maybe. Yeah. And obviously like you'd have to be 16 or something to drive it.
Yeah.
Older, but I remember you and me going. So the last time I went to Lake Powell, I don't know if it was your last time, but
I think it
was for my senior trip. After I graduated, I took you with my family, and I remember you and I going out and just doing it, and it was no big deal.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Anyway.
Is that your dad's? They rent them or something?
No, I think it was the Petersons, because we went with the Petersons.
Oh, okay.
So, anyway.
Yeah, it was cool. The kids night swam, and we fished and caught a bunch of fish. And
they literally, I don't think that you didn't have a pole in at any given time.
Yeah, they loved it.
Except for when we went out on the boat, so nobody was there to watch them.
Oh, what I was going to say to your point was we spent all day on that pontoon boat on like Wednesday.
Yeah.
And halfway through the day, or towards the end, like the last couple hours, Gwen's like, when are we going back?
Yeah, the kids just wanted to go play on the beach.
And
that's
do
what I was saying.
Sandcastles and swim. We had paddle boards. Those are actually sweet.
The paddle boards are fun. We might have to get one of those.
Those huge floating mats.
Oh, yeah, those lily pads. That was cool. I just laid on that one time. I'm just like laying there.
The houseboat had a hot tub. The kids were playing in that on the top.
The houseboat was pretty dope.
Freaking huge. a 75-foot.
Yeah, it was crazy.
It didn't hit me.
Scared me is that it was so big.
It didn't hit me how big it was until like the week of, and I'm like looking at all the other houseboats, and I'm like, oh, this is a big houseboat.
She big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was dope. It worked out great.
Honestly, like I said, I think that it went so seamlessly because we had Jace there to like get us going.
Yeah, yeah.
And then we could go from there. I thought
last
it was
day
great.
we just did the whole day on the houseboat. We just hung out and fished and
nobody
ate
even really wanted to go do
fire
anything else.
And I felt bad because I think Taft wanted to go back out and do the tube one more time.
Yeah.
But I think Clay took him out for a ride on the pontoon boat for a little bit.
Let him drive it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool.
So that's cute. But I think it was good. I think we had a perfect happy medium with it all. I think everybody was ready to come home and get all cleaned up and stuff. But other than that,
yeah,
it was awesome. I think it was a perfect amount of time.
Yeah, I do too.
So we got there. We drove Sunday.
We went to Costco shop for a couple hours, grabbed some lunch, and then headed there. We were there by like 6:30 that night.
Yeah, and then we checked into a hotel. We were there, and then got the stuff Monday afternoon. It was supposed to be morning, but anyway, everything was late. So, and got going Monday afternoon. So, and then we left Friday. So it was perfect. It was perfect.
Got right to our spot and hung out till Friday, and it was like the perfect time.
Yeah, it was funny because people kept saying, "Oh, let's move the boat, and I'm like, "No, we have a great spot, and it'll take another half of a day just to do that." Nope, I'm good where we were. It was great. I loved it. They were jumping. There was a slide. We swam across the little bay that we were in to the other side and did a little hiking and catching lizards and all the fun stuff. But it was perfect. The one thing that I learned, which I'm sure these other people didn't know, but like is boat etiquette or one boat etiquette thing is, so we were in like a little cove. That's what I was like, bay, but that's not right. A cove. We were in a little cove and we had like 3 houseboats in there. And so these people would rip through.
It only happened a couple times, but yeah.
No, it was the last couple days.
Yeah.
This new group had on the houseboat that was furthest into the bay. And so it would rip by ours and another houseboat going in. And the only problem with that is that we're anchored in and we're trying to stay anchored in. Yeah. And so you get these big waves and our pontoon boat is just beached up on the beach. And there were 2-3 times that we had to run and go jump onto the boat because they ripped through.
Yeah.
And try it because the boat was going to float away if we didn't.
Yeah.
And same thing with our paddle boards.
Well, we had kids in the water swimming around too.
Yeah. And you're like going fast too.
And ripping through where kids are swimming and slow your butts down.
But there's just certain things like that I didn't even think of. Like Jace would do it and I'm like, oh, it makes sense that you would do that. Or anyway, so
the water had gone up like 50 feet since he had been there, a year or 2 ago. So the water had been rising. He said that the perfect depth, even if it doesn't get full again, the people of the lake or whoever the people are, whoever they are, they say that the perfect health for the lake is like another 40 feet.
Oh, is it?
But he was showing us all the spots where he's like, he had pictures of when it was down really low and places we had driven by and stuff. And yeah, and there was a lot more water for sure this time. But you've seen, like, I've seen being down there boats that got caught in sandbars and stuff like that or rocks. So you want to stay in the middle of the lake when you're driving. When I took over the pontoon boat for a minute, he's like, stay in the middle. I'm like, oh yeah, because there's cliffs and rocks. You don't know how far into the water they come. And so
he was saying that sometimes like people will see them and then they'll tie a bottle to like a rock or something. I don't know. That'll float. So if you see a bottle in the middle, you know that there's going to be a rock.
Oh yeah.
There.
One of his buddies had hit the propeller.
Yeah.
Hit the prop on the.
And so then people will mark them. Yeah. People will mark them for you because I mean, I'm sure the patrol is trying to do their best at like buoying everything and trying to help, but they can't get everywhere. It's huge. It's a huge huge body of water. So anyway, the one thing that about the time of year that we went that was a little bit of a bummer is that a lot of things were not open at certain times, right? So because our checking out of the houseboat was later, we thought, oh, we'll take the kids up, we'll go get breakfast, hang out. There's one restaurant. And so we went to go do that, and it was closed. And so it wasn't open for breakfast or lunch. It's only open for dinner at this time of year. And then there was another, like the gas station was closed or something because they were doing inventory. It was like the gas station was closed at like noon for inventory. So it was just little things like that they just like aren't as staffed, I think. Yeah. And so because it's a slower time of year. Yep. So there's a little quirks like that, but
yeah, it was great.
For the most part, it was awesome.
One of the other times we went, I'm pretty sure when I went down to Powell, it was later in the season, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
I'm down to go later in the season when the weather's better and there's less traffic for sure.
Yeah. Ditto.
So anyway.
We had a grand old time.
It's been a busy, crazy, wild month.
That is so good.
We're a little over halfway done with the chaos.
You think?
It's going to slow down, isn't it? Like 30 days.
Then we hit holidays.
This is my favorite time of year. The fall is the best.
High five.
The weather, the trees changing, the mountains next to our house are freaking
driving through that
beautiful.
Canyon.
The canyon's beautiful. The entire drive down was pretty amazing. Even when you hit the desert, the cliffs and the rocks and everything are pretty awesome.
The girls kept asking me, they're like, how does this work? Like, how all of a sudden is there this like random form of rock?
I know.
I found a video of this lady showing how it worked.
Post that.
Instagram is listening. But it sent it to, so I sent it to the girls and I explained it. I'm like, I don't know. It's like, what's it called? Crap. Now I forgot the word that I told him.
Rocks.
Erosion. This is just wind and the rain and all the things. But it was interesting. I'll have to show you because it actually was really cool.
That is cool.
It was interesting
because
she did it. She showed it to you. There was like she just used the loose sand and a bottle of water to show you how it worked. It was amazing. It was amazing. Yeah. So we'll post that too. It was really cool. But it's so pretty down there. Lake Perfect Powell's temperature. Yeah. It was so awesome. It was so good for our family. I'm hoping for the other families that were with us. I felt like it was a good happy medium. I mean, there's going to be a little chaos because there were 15 people. I think 10 of them were kids, so like 16 and under.
Yep.
10 of the 15. So.
But we are getting that age too with our kids, which is really nice. Gwen's not like a great swimmer yet, but so it freaks you out a little when
she did such a good job. We told her, we said, anytime you leave the boat, you have to have your life jacket on, or even if she was going like up to top the front or whatever. Yeah. Anytime she left the inside, and she did great. I never actually really worried about her because she was really good at keeping that rule.
Yeah, Clay and Steph had their younger, like 2-year-old there. And it was a lot of work for them. But all the other kids being older, it is a little more stress-free.
Yeah.
And it was a little bit more enjoyable, I think, because of that,
Yeah.
I wipe my own ass. You know what I mean?
What's that off? It's a Adam Big Sandler, Daddy.
Big Daddy. Big Daddy quote for you. When the kids can just get in the car seat and get out of diapers and like get their own food.
I'm not gonna lie.
What a glorious day it is. Good. What a great day that is.
I'm not gonna lie, I was a little nervous. I looked up like how far out from being in green algae can you get sick, and it said 2 days, and that was like travel day. I was a little nervous that
Jack has a
some
cold.
kids would no, they're gonna vomit from that.
Oh, good. No one's vomited. That's good.
Or Rhea. But luckily, because of our previous experiences before this, which we can talk about in another episode, I had backup vomit bags in my car, so
and
I was prepared.
Had to use them.
No, I did give it to Gwen when we were going through the canyon because it got pretty windy. But even coming home,
does she get car sick?
Not usually.
Okay.
But I think because we were on the boat.
Yeah. And
you're just rocking all the time, and then it's directly into the car and winding through the canyons. I think just a little motion sickness. I'm actually shocked at how many people didn't get motion sick. There was only one of the kids that really struggled.
Yeah.
And did he throw up even?
No.
So anyway.
I did feel like I was on that boat.
Yeah, I came home and showered, and anytime I was closing my eyes, I'm all, you know.
I'm like, why does it feel like I'm moving?
Yeah. That's actually the most I'd felt like a little nauseous is what after moving. So
I had that from Disneyland one time as a kid.
Oh, really?
I was like, rode all the rides, and I remember just feeling queasy for like a day after.
Yeah, I felt queasy at Disneyland too.
Yeah. And we do have that trip coming up.
Are we gonna dress up?
I'll wear something simple, a T-shirt like this.
Should we do?
Put a scary scarecrow on.
Let's ask them.
Okay.
We're doing.
I'll dress up as much as Rye.
Disney
Hollywood Horror Nights and
not excited
Disney's Halloween something. I can't remember.
The Oogie Boogie.
Booger Booger Nights.
Pick your booger.
Booger Nights at Oogie
Boogie. So at Disney. So which I'm so excited for, but I don't know. Do you dress up? So like we'll poll. Should we dress up?
I'm not one to really dress up.
What should we be? My thought was just some simple, so that you just had to wear a shirt.
Yeah.
Was the pizza delivery guy from Pizza Planet from off of Toy Story.
All right. Yeah.
That's not bad.
I could wear a pizza shirt.
Like
I like
delivery
pizza.
shirt.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't wear the hat, you said, right?
I probably would just wear a hat I want to wear.
Yeah. See, this is where I can... We got this much wiggle room.
Listen, this is my favorite time of year. Halloween is for the children's and for hanging out and watching movies and stuff.
Yeah.
So
anyway, I'm really nervous about Hollywood. I do horrors. Guys.
We're doing Disney first and then Hollywood Horror Nights.
I didn't know I was signing up for the other.
Dude, I think it's going to be freaking...
I need to watch the videos. I don't know.
Do you watch the videos or do you not watch the videos?
Another poll. Should I watch the videos and prep myself so that we don't cry?
I didn't realize it was the same stuff that Ellen DeGeneres used to send her person to.
Kate,
would go walk through the...
Do you guys remember? I used to watch Ellen. Andy is his name.
Yeah.
And she would send him every year to go through these haunted houses. And he freaks, which this is going to be me. It's going to be me. I know it. I might just end up wearing a Depends because... It's going to be safer for everybody involved.
Do it.
But he just cries, screaming the whole time in horror.
I think I'm going to be less scared because I'm going to be less scared.
Because you're going to be laughing at me.
Yeah. And if we go in a group, I'll just let you go first.
I know. That's why I'm like, maybe I need to watch him. Because apparently they put him on YouTube.
Yeah.
And so if I know what's coming...
Can I tell you? I'm going to tell you the part that Ryan told me that I wasn't going to tell you.
Is it going to make me more or less scared?
It's going to make you realize the experience is going to be scarier than you think.
Should we check out what my pulse is at right now?
Sure.
My anxiety is through the roof. Yesterday, my anxiety was like at 1.
One thing that they're really good at there and good with are smells. So whatever is happening in the scene...
I'm going to vomit.
You smell it. Bruh. Yeah, you might throw up. Bring your vomit bags. You got them. Just bring them with you. I might throw up. I don't know.
I'm not well.
Bruh. And there's like 13 of them or some crazy stuff.
Why?
I don't know. They said it's fun. We'll return and report to you when we're back.
In what world?
It's happening. Just embrace it. Embrace it. So we were hoping to do after we booked it all, we're like, maybe we should have done Oogie Boogie after Hollywood Horror Nights so we could go have a feel-good Disney vibe to come home with. But we're going to go get all that worn off at the Hollywood Horror Nights. I don't know. I'm just here. I'm just here for a good time, dude.
I am so nervous.
Good.
I don't know if you know how, my anxiety is through the roof right now.
You'll be fine, dude. You'll be fine.
I don't like scary movies, let alone being literally actually in.
We're going to watch some scary movies to prep ourselves to desensitize our minds.
No.
Yep. Be ready.
No.
I'm going to do it. This is boot camp for freaking scary nights. That's what we're doing. Starting today.
I can't do it.
Well, I might need to watch football today. How good was that Georgia-Alabama game yesterday?
Oh, my gosh.
If anybody watched that Georgia-Alabama game.
We were screaming.
It was 28-0, Georgia fans here.
The last 3 minutes.
There's a 17-year-old freshman that freaking crushed it last night.
On Bama's team.
Yep. Good job, dude. I can't remember his name now. Sorry.
I can't either. Number
that
two.
game was 28-0.
Two?
Georgia took the lead for about 10 seconds in the fourth quarter.
Literally 10 seconds because they came and returned right away.
The first play at Bama had it back. They scored a touchdown. And then Georgia took it all the way down the field with like a minute left and threw a pick in the end zone. That game was pretty fun to watch.
That pick.
Yeah. I love just the football, the trees, the weather.
This is so
We did
good.
butter pancakes again this morning finally out on the Blackstone griddle.
We'll
post that too. We should do tacos on there.
Babe, I'm scared.
We should do all this stuff. I'm distracting you to talk about
It's not working.
Right yeah, dude. Sheesh.
I really might invest.
Maybe I'll video some of that. Bring some diapers. Maybe that can be your outfit. Go in a diaper.
I'm going as a baby.
Yeah.
Wrong place. We're not dressing up for a good boogie, are we?
I thought that's when you dress up.
I mean, not again. I mean, for horror nights.
I don't know. Ask our friends. This is the first time I'm not a Disney guy. I don't do this stuff usually, but we have cool friends we're going with that have freaking Club 33 passes and they're freaking dope. So we're going to go hang out with them.
They're so fun.
They are freaking awesome. So yeah, be a good time.
Pray for me.
There's a few other details that are kind of funny this last week that I hope we can talk about someday about just the Lake Powell trip.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying you were holding.
I just want to tell all the stories, but it's not. It doesn't just affect me. So
I know
anyway,
that's how it goes.
They're great.
Anyway, okay.
All right.
Well, that was fun recap.
It was. There's way more that happened this month. We got back. Maddie had a dance before we left. A dance when we got back. We had football yesterday. I mean, it just never ends, and we love it. We absolutely just love it.
Oh my gosh, we're living our best life.
Yeah, we are.
I love it.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I bitch and complain though. I'm sorry. I'm trying so hard. I'm tired, dude.
But
I'm home, then I go to a quick little trip, then I'm home, and then we go on a little trip, and then I'm home. And all our money's going to be gone, but we had good experiences. This was our Christmas trip. Did we already say that?
Mm-hmm.
So we told the kids, hey, if we go to Powell, can this be the Christmas trip? But I already know we'll have something for next year if the budget allows. We might be renting out our basement again.
Hit us up.
Hit us up. 2-bed, 1-bath. It's noisy with kids upstairs. We'll make it fair. How's that?
I don't feel like.
But we do have a good time. All right.
Think about it. We don't hear them.
We don't hear them, but they're gonna hear us.
What? We're in the basement.
Whoever lives in the basement is gonna hear children.
Yeah, but I don't hear them right now. Is what I'm saying.
It's because I threatened their lives before we started the podcast.
Anyway.
All right.
Thanks for recapping. That was fun.
Thank you. Love you.
Love you. Most.